Hey guys, Veteran Trainer John here, and back again on the channel is another Dokkan battle video. Now, if you're on Global, you just got access to Extreme Super Battle Road a couple days ago. And if you're like me, you don't have a whole lot of idea how to beat it. Now, I am not the best team builder for Dokkan. I'm not going to say that at all. I'm also not the best Dokkan player. I don't have the best account. I'm not the most devout, but I do tend to play the game a lot, and I did manage to complete all 10 stages. Some of them took way more tries than the rest, a lot of trial and error, but I'm kind of going to show my teams, my thought process, why I put some units on the team, and how it went overall for me. So this is Extreme Super Battle Road. A lot of it does depend kind of on super attacks. Luck, RNG is a huge factor on whether or not you can beat these, and sometimes you just get every enemy super attacks the one weak link on your team, and it just sucks. So let's go. First was the last and most difficult stage for me to complete was the Extreme Tech Super Battle Road. Now this sucked. I tried so many different team builds. For example, I did LR Broly friend. I did a lot of these units were different at one point. I tried Tech Hit, tried bringing him for his stunning and lowering attack. He wasn't quite working. It didn't work out for me at all. So I tried other Tech Frieza friends. So this is what worked for me. I had Raditz on rotation with Golden Frieza. So that basically was a safe rotation. Raditz has 50% damage reduction when there's more than one enemy, which is every stage of Super Battle Road until you're about to win. And when there's more than one enemy, he has a guaranteed chance to stun. He also can stun on super attack for 2 turns, so that's pretty clutch too. This guy, he has crazy high damage reduction until a certain HP threshold, then it lowers, but then he gets attack. So basically, if I used any defensive item at all, this rotation could not get touched. The other rotation I had was this support cell and this cell. So these guys, this guy, and this guy were floating. This guy, he heals every turn he comes around. He heals on the 12 key and lowers attack and defense on the 18 key, although I rarely ever got his 18 key. Usually it was 12 to 13, 14 key. And this guy, he lowers enemies attack by 20%, and he doesn't really boost anyone on the team, but he does give a 50% support boost. And as you can see, I had one item left. I had one. It's very rare for my runs to actually have an item left. But yeah, that's kind of what worked for me. A lot of people do use the LR Broly, and he's pretty good. It's just my friends list, I had only a couple with any dupe paths opened, and the 55% was not really putting out a lot of damage. He was getting a 1.5 million attack stat with more than 12 key and only 1 million until he transformed. And it's just, he's too squishy. So next we are going to go into, there you go, Super Tech. Now this one took me just about as long as the Extreme Tech did. It was a lot of RNG. Now I did get a lot of help building this team. I did go online and look for pointers and stuff, because it was just giving me a hard time, and my tech box is not very good. So use Siblings Bond as your main, and Goku's family as your main category here. The team build that I saw online had a Jocko instead of this Gohan here. But I don't have Jocko, and I'm not going to do a bunch of summons just to get him so I can run him on the stage. But Jocko does stun all enemies the first time he comes on rotation, which is extremely useful. But anyways, so I basically had Beerus on one rotation and this Gohan on the other rotation. So Beerus, if your HP I think gets below 40%, he can go into rage mode, and his 12 key is a guaranteed 2-turn stun in rage mode. That is clutch, and he can do that twice in a battle. So that's why I had him on 1 turn. This Gohan completely heals you and gives himself like a 200% attack buff when your HP gets under like 30%. So usually the goal was to get to a point where I could use the rage mode, which can buy you like up to 2 turns, because he doesn't take any damage when he's in rage mode, and it's stun. So the next turn you could basically have no units attacking you, which is very clutch. This guy, if he's in the first slot, he has like a high chance to dodge, and he gives himself like extra attack and defense. He's not very good. He doesn't link well, but he does give himself key, and he does have a high chance to dodge after he attacks, which is terrible that he's a first slot unit that doesn't have dodge before he attacks. So he ended a lot of runs for me. Beerus ended a lot of runs for me too. This unit is okay. This unit is squishy unless you got movie boss enemies. And this guy, he's pretty good, but like defensively he just is a lot harder. He doesn't hold up as well defensively as you would hope. And these guys, if they got, this was a 69% one, so he wasn't doing a whole lot, but my unit, when I got like 3 super attacks in a turn, it really cleared out at least 1 enemy. So yeah, this one was pretty hard, but it took a lot of RNG to get that one done. Next we've got this. So this was the first time I used this team build, and I beat it with 2 items. I believe I had 2 Android 8s left. So the main thing is this 17, 18, and 16 unit transforming as soon as you can, and then having the other 17 and 18 and 16 as like a support unit on the same rotation. I floated Cell, and these 3 really were just floaters. Cell, I tried to get his 12 key as much as possible, so that heals you a little bit, and it's a AoE. This Cumber has a chance to stun enemies if they're super class and they attack him. So every time he gets attacked, he has a chance to do a 1-turn stun. So that was pretty clutch, and is for all the enemy units. This guy, he just does a couple supers and raises defense on super, so he's pretty good. He's an AoE unit, which I don't think I really saw him very much, because I was just... Android 16 is a monster. He's like 3-point-something million, lowering attack, just crushing him. And this guy, he's got a pretty decent stat buff, and he does additional too, so... You know, this team, first try, this mouse item is incredibly awesome. Bad side is like you can't farm this item anywhere. It's not farmable at all. So that really does stink. But did find out you can farm the Whis item, which is pretty damn cool. So this is probably my fastest run I did. But this was also like the 3rd attempt with this particular team build. So basically, Vegito doesn't take much damage from normals, only supers, and under 40% he can see supers. This guy, he's pretty tanky until like 7 turns passes, and then he sucks. This guy, he's pretty good defensively, but he's still squishy. This guy creates orbs, does some healing, and he greatly raises defense on super. And the Gokus massively raise attack and defense on their 18 key and defense on their 12 key. What is going on here? Recording. Okay, sorry about that. Alright, and basically, and a Bardock. Bardock raises attack, and no, he raises defense on super, and he gets like some buffs against Frieza family and against extreme class allies. But basically, he's just like the best. He's a unit that I saw was able to do it, and he fit under the leader skill, so he was a pretty good choice. But yeah, I mean, you could replace him with like Killing Khalifa. You could replace him with Easy A Khalifa. Probably would be a pretty good choice. I mean, there's a few units you could put here, probably. Units with like a high chance of dodge, like, I don't know, maybe Vados, probably not Vados, but maybe the new Hercule. He does have a pretty good chance to dodge, and he greatly raises defense. He could be a pretty good unit to throw in here. He won't link well with the rest of the team, but he won't need to. So, let's go on. This one was pretty annoying. I changed up my items to make it work, because healing wasn't the issue. Like, I was not having an issue with health. It was just keeping the health. Because as soon as they started getting hit, they'd like we'd drop like flies. Even LR Baby with like a wee sup would take like 40 to 60k, and it's crazy. This is like a couple dupe LR Baby too. So my rotation ended up being Cooler with Baby, which kind of stinks because Cooler's transformation always goes off first. But I mean, still, it's a transformation. It's a free 2 to 3 turns, and then I only got his transformation like twice, but it definitely was massively important. And then also, this guy heals every time he comes around, I think. I think it might have a HP threshold or something, but I'm not sure. This guy can get pretty defensive. Then I had the Android 13 on rotation with the Boo Piccolo. This Boo Piccolo is only 55%. And he was holding his own. He had like 1,000,000 attack stat, and he was stunning and dodging. Like, this guy is pretty good. These characters both have a chance to stun, so usually I'd like target different enemies with them and try hopefully like get a stun. And it ended up working out. The transformations, the Cooler transformation and the Baby transformation, was massively important. The luck of the run. This Broly is kind of defensive. You could run the Angel Golden Frieza, but in my personal experience, I kept hitting that HP threshold, and he couldn't tank anymore. And even with like defensive items, he has no defense, so he would just take like 90k with a Wii Sub. I couldn't like, it was not reliable enough for me, but obviously that's just my luck, my experience. Okay, now this took me a few tries as well. This is not the first team build I came up with. So my thinking is, these guys, they give pretty decent stat buffs, and they lower the enemy attack and defense by like 20%. That's pretty good. This guy, high chance to dodge. He has damage reduction, defense, and he can stun. She dodges and seals and lowers attack. And he stuns, generates rainbow orbs, and does a little bit of healing. This guy creates purple orbs, and this guy is just a very good int unit. And if you can get that 6 turns, his transformation can be a good free heal. Sorry. Definitely had Hercule. Sometimes I'd have Hercule and Vegeta, and sometimes I'd have Hercule and Vados, or even Hercule and this Gotenks, but definitely kept the rotation of the Trunks and the Vegeta. That was kind of what worked best. They linked up pretty well. He created orbs, so usually it was fairly easy to get both of them super attacks, and he raises attack and defense after super. So that's pretty good. It's pretty useful. And plus, you can't, with these units that can lower the enemy's attack without having to do anything, you kind of want one of them on every rotation if you can. So that was kind of what I decided to do. And these items, with his HP, regeneration, I just didn't need that many healing items, so I used an extra defensive item. And maybe I probably should have went with the Icarus. Sorry, brain fart. The Icarus item here instead of this, but his 50% damage reduction is so, like, it's such a big buff over this. Like, it's crazy. It worked out for me that with the Ghost Usher. I mean, looking back on it, this is a weird item loadout, but it worked. So next we have this one. This one was pretty easy. The biggest issue is that this guy rarely stuns for me. Like, never stuns. He's only 55%. So that means he's very squishy. Even with a lot of orbs, his defense doesn't get that high. So he's very squishy. He doesn't stun like he needs to, and he's just not doing enough, but he is supporting. So basically I had a Cell and this Cell on rotation, and then a Janemba and another Cell. So Janemba is crazy good, but he still takes like 10k from these units. So that's insane. 100k from a super, and it's just nuts. I had a pretty normal item loadout too. Bojack's pretty good defensively at low HP. This Cell recovers like 20% HP under 30% HP, and these guys transform under like 30% HP into perfect Cell, and they get like full heal, and their stats get a little bit better. But yeah, this was a pretty good run. Maybe I'd replace him with like the Metal Cooler. Probably would be a little better, but it is what it is. This guy, he's squishy. Squishy. Very squishy. Alright. Moving on. This was the first one that I actually completed. I got his stun like 3 times, which was clutch as hell. He tanks very well, even against Extreme Super Battle Road. As you can see, I had 2 healing items left, or 3. This guy is okay. He's only at 55% for me. I probably could have used someone better for Vegeta Blue, like Whis or something, but he worked out pretty alright. She heals and does damage reduction, and I went with this unit instead of another Vegeta because Vegeta needs to get his 18 key to be viable for this stage, and this guy can dodge and give himself key. So he was a pretty safe bet. Just hard to find him with like any kind of dupe paths open on my friends list. So I think this one was 69%, but I got really close with a bunch of 55% units. So also stuns, crits on stuns, gets like 120% attack on stuns, and she just heals when she supers and does attack. So I mean, it worked out. It didn't take me too many times. Obviously I did most of these while I was at work, so the run times are a little slower than they could be, but still, I mean, you got them done, right? This one is, I don't know why you're not zooming in, but yeah, it's a little weird. So this one took an awful lot of tries, considering how like well thought out this is. So Omega Shenron, if you don't know, lowers enemies' attack by 40%. So one rotation with Omega Shenron, and then there's one on each rotation. And then I had Cooler with one. I believe I had Transformed Boo with the other. So he was floating off. So basically, as long as I did not link him with the Omega Shenrons, he only needed 1 key to get his 11 key, which heals. She also heals on super attack, so that was pretty good, and she also lowers attack and defense, which is crazy good. This Majin Vegeta creates red key spheres, and he greatly raises defense on super, so he does provide some healing too. So I think some of these units shared Metamorphosis as well, which is another healing link. So there's a lot of healing going on every turn basically, and lowers attack and defense on super, lowers attack and defense on super, lowers attack and defense on super, passively lowers attack and defense of the enemy. So with defensive items, this, like any defensive items at all, like this team just was not touchable. But I had some really crappy luck on a bunch of runs, so that's why this took me more than like 1 try. Very good team. Would recommend you use at least double Omega Shenron. These guys, you probably need Cooler. This guy is probably replaceable. I've seen some people use the Fat Boo. I couldn't get any luck with the Fat Boo. He never stunned. He just took way too much damage. Even with an incredible amount of STR orbs, he took a lot of damage. Yeah. So there's this team. Let's continue on. We still got a lot to go through. Holy crap. Alright, so this was like one of the first teams that I had built a version of this team early on with Bardock as a leader. I was like, wait, I can make an mostly pure Saiyans team that's really damn good, and then this unit still gives 100% stat buff. So basically it's like, okay, we definitely need the Vegetas and then a pure Saiyan team. So this guy, almost a guaranteed crit and stun, so he has full additional, so he can also additional. This guy seals on his 18 key, but he gets pretty defensive too. When he, I think when he 18 key supers, he gets like some defensive boost. Anyways, this unit creates key spheres and raises defense on super, so he's pretty good. This unit is really tanky and can also full heal you after 6 turns if you're under 50%. This unit got me killed probably more times than the rest of them combined. This unit was such a pain because he slowly raises his defense. It's not like he gets 120% at the start. You have to super with him. And I have like full additional in him, and he's just not supering more than once per turn. But basically I'm pretty sure I had these two as a rotation. And then probably I had these two on rotation. This was like one of the first ones I did, so I don't quite remember exactly. I would definitely replace the Seal Tanks. He's too squishy. And yeah, he seals, but you kind of want stuns. Stuns is very important. It's probably way more important than sealing. Because these units still hit insanely hard even if they're sealed, so it's kind of what you'd rather go for. But yeah, used all my items. It's pretty nice. Alright, so this is where I'm going to plug my boy. Holy crap, this is already a 20-minute long video. Gacha Talks. He also did the Super Battle Road stages. We talked a little bit about his tactics and stuff. You should probably follow him and subscribe to his YouTube channel. I'll actually open that up right here. Oh no. Crap, hold on. Open link in a new tab. There we go. This is his YouTube channel. You should definitely go subscribe to him. He's got more subscribers than I do now. But yeah, this guy is pretty good. He's a pretty cool dude. He's gonna be doing, he does a podcast, which is pretty legit. It's pretty funny. They talk about all sorts of crap. Definitely check out his channel. Give him a subscribe. And tell him I sent you if you made it this far. Anyways, this is his Twitter. You should probably talk to him on Twitter too. Follow him on Twitter. He's a pretty cool dude. Definitely should check him out. This is his team. So this is with the new LR Super Saiyan 2 Vegeta. But yeah, this is a pretty good team. I completely forgot about this unit. Yeah, probably should have ran him. See, this is why it's good to like look at other people and see what they did. So he had 2 items left with this run. So Vegeto, he's pretty good. So these 2 units are 2 units I probably didn't put too much thought into. I think I did actually have him on my first team, but he just wasn't able to hold up. He wasn't putting too much damage because unless he crits, he only does like 300k with his counters. So I didn't prioritize that. But these 2 units right here probably would be a good replacement for especially him. Definitely should have been running him over the Seal Tanks. And this unit, I'm just jealous he has these. This is like a perfect rotation for this unit. If you watched my showcase video yesterday, these 2 units and then this unit was like the best rotation. It's like with his active skill, I don't even remember the number, but it's incredibly high. Even without his active skill, he's like 6.5 million. So anyways, that's it for this one. Alright. This is his tech team. So he does have the Jocko, which is pretty good. It's a pretty good, unit. He's very common on banners, and he stuns all enemies for 1 turn. I don't have him, but he'd be a good unit to run. See, I don't have this LR either. And I do have him, but I don't have him. So I don't actually have most of the units on this team. Just 2 units. But yeah, this is a different team. So he is very good for the LR. Is it Goza or was it Friku? Is that what people call him? So this is a killer rotation. And I imagine he probably had this guy on. He's very tanky before he does an 18 key. This guy is a floater. This guy probably on rotation too. Maybe these two. That could make sense. Because he boosts his defense and he just has a high defense buff. So I'm not 100% sure what his rotations were for this. But yeah, this is a pretty good team. It's a pretty good team. Alright. This... I don't have him. So basically we had a very similar team, except for I don't have this unit. So very similar team build, probably very similar idea behind it. We're not going to go over this one too much. So this team is a little different from mine, as you could see. He went with the LR Vegito friend, which is a good friend, but it's a 90% buff for most of these units, and that's not quite good enough, especially because my Godku's at 55%. I didn't even end up running him because he'd get pimp smacked. He just would get like bullied. It's crazy. I didn't run this unit either. I do have this unit with a couple dupes, or maybe one dupe, but he's pretty good. It doesn't link the best with the team, and I don't have this Gohan either, so I have like these guys, or actually I have all of these guys, but like I really would have been nice to have more of these 55% leads, but or 50%, not 55%, my bad. I like my team build though. I think my team build is pretty good. Obviously, I think, yeah, this clear time is crazy. Yeah, so definitely, if you could build this team, this would probably be a good team to go with. Alright. Super physical. Now, I have... Yeah, okay, so... This guy, super tanky. She has a chance to reduce damage, and she also heals on super. This guy can dodge against time traveler enemies, I think. And he gets pretty good based on like your team build, but yeah, I don't know. I guess this is kind of, I mean, I don't know. I probably wouldn't have ran this unit, but he has them rainbowed, so this unit's crazy good, of course, and this unit's really good too. So I don't know if he just ran this unit because it's like the best unit he could find on his friends list, but if he could have found another Kava, that probably would have been crazy. But yeah, this is a pretty solid team build. I see what he's going for sure. This guy is very, very important. Very helpful. Okay, let's see. What do we got? Very similar team build to what I had. So basically, I just filled in some blanks here because I do have this unit, but he's not awakened and he's only at 55, not even 55%. And I don't have this unit either. So I just replaced him with the Zamasu, and who else? Damn, who else did I have? Oh, the Boo Piccolo, right. So, I mean, Boo Piccolo does support this 13, so they're pretty good on rotation, and they both stun, so they're pretty good on rotation. These guys, I mean, they don't link the best, but they're still pretty good, and a lot of the stages do have hybrids or pure Saiyans, so he becomes even better. And this unit is a really good support, and he does a lot on his super attack actually, so I will probably put some investment into him. I really wish I had more copies, but I don't. But yeah, I imagine his rotations are probably these two units, and I don't know, I would probably, maybe I'd put Baby with the Goku Black, just because he gives him ki, and he lowers attack and defense on super, so him supering is like crucial. Well, so does he. So he lowers attack and defense. He lowers defense and stuns. He boosts his defense on super. He gains defense after getting hit, and he greatly raises defense on super. So, like, this is a pretty good team build. I really wish I had this guy rainbowed like he does freaking well. Anyways, let's continue on. This is the team where his team was kind of similar, but like still vastly different. So I had zero luck with the LR Broly, like I said. So I abandoned him and went for this guy. But he said that this guy was like the weakest part of his team. So it's a little bit, I felt like he was invaluable to my team build because I beat the first time I tried it with using this guy as a friend. This guy increases defense on super, but it's not enough. He doesn't have defense in his passive. So I think he's not good for these super hard events for sure. Amazing. He's okay, but he has his rainbowed, so he said his is crucial for him. But this, I kind of wish I had someone better to use, but it works out. He does not have the free-to-play tech Cell LR, but he replaced it with this guy. Or, I guess this guy, Who else? Well, who did I run that he doesn't? Excuse me. Oh, God. I'm sorry. Yeah, definitely the tech LR Cell. Who else? Oh, yeah, I had Easy A Murdzamasu, and he was okay. He was probably weak. I probably should have replaced him. Very crazy similar team build to mine. He just had this unit instead of the Vegeta. So, and I guess he had this unit on here, and I had, who did I have? I had the perfect Cell, Easy A, type. Alright, so we're just going to go over these real quick. So this team build, I don't have him. Mine's at 55%. It's garbage, but very similar. I did run Goku Black for a long time, but I just didn't stick with it. So I think he must have gotten pretty lucky with this build, honestly. I feel like is a lot of, but then again, Buhan is really damn good. So I imagine these two were a rotation, and I don't know who else. There's like, you could have these two, you could have had like these two, you could have like these two, or there's a lot of possible rotations. But yeah, so a lot of rainbows here. That's very helpful. Very helpful, probably. All right, last one, and then I've got to go. I don't have him. I did not have any luck with him, but yeah, definitely two of these guys. This guy. I mean, I guess this guy makes sense because he can stun. I think he lowers attack and defense, and he creates orbs. So that's pretty good. And he has got a pretty solid leader skill. This guy is crazy at low HP. In Extreme Super Battle Road, you're going to be at low HP a lot. Generates red orbs, increases defense, yeah, then makes red orbs and can stun. But yeah, so that's basically kind of the thought behind these team builds and what's going on. I've got to go. Thank you guys for watching. Please subscribe to my friend and have a great